security. And it's all because of my friend here. So there's wonder about their future. So still remain very, very deep.
It may look like random graffiti, even a bit eerie. But the painting on this salon is actually mandated by Afghanistan's Taliban government, an effort to whitewash women's images from public. Symbolic of the efforts to erase women from society, according to some of the few women willing to raise their voices in protest.
Yes, we are targeted by Taliban. Always we are threatened by Taliban, and they are trying to arrest all the protesters.
We, as the government, are committed to the freedom of expression and of public gatherings. If they want to demonstrate and raise their voice.
That's coming from the Afghan Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Despite the government statement, here's what happened when Monisa recently led a group of Afghan women marking the first anniversary of the Taliban takeover. Taliban police unload magazines from their AK-47s to disperse the demonstrators. Monisa, a former employee of the Ministry of Finance, says the tactic is nothing new and alleges harassment, imprisonment, threats of torture by the government, but maintains she and others cannot back down now.
All of this, the reason that we want to stand and loud our voice and struggle with Taliban, because we do not have another choice. We do not have another choice.
The new government is turning back the clock. Women must cover up in public and also be in the company of a male family member. Most lost their jobs, banned from entering government institutions. Perhaps most harsh, eliminating public schooling for girls after 6th grade. Zakia Zahadat is a graduate of law school in Kabul.
When you are deprived from your basic rights, you are compelled to fight. I am fighting for Afghan girls' rights. I see that an Afghan girl is not allowed to go to school. Her educational rights have been taken away from her. I have to fight for her. And if I become silent, a generation's voice will be silent.
This man being greeted like a cult of personality in Paktika province is Sheikh Mohammed Khalid Hanafi. He is the arbiter of what women can, or more to the point, cannot do. The Sheikh runs the very powerful Ministry of Vice and Virtue.
Our country was invaded these past 20 years, not just a military invasion, but also a cultural invasion. Before there were boys dancing, women dancing. People made girls dance for their desires. Drinking alcohol and other evils, by advising and public awareness, we have been able to prevent it now.
The few women in Afghanistan willing to openly demonstrate against the Taliban say they lead a life of constant fear, worried about harassment, being brought in for questioning, arrest, or worse. But they say perhaps their biggest frustration, wondering why people in the West are not raising their voices louder.
The main thing that the Afghan women are asking to the international community and the United Nations, do not engage the Taliban unless they accept Afghan women back into society, into politics, and give them their educational rights.
The Taliban's treatment of girls and women is perhaps the chief reason the United States and other nations refuse to engage with the fledgling Afghan government. Changes from the Taliban could clear the way for billions of dollars to funnel into Kabul, alleviating widespread hunger and an economic crisis. Nearly 2/3 of the population here is under 25. It is easy to look at these faces and wonder, what kind of life will these girls have?
They will continue and have the opportunity to every single amenity that other nations have. And they will prosper and they will contribute to their country. And this is our goal as the new government.
They may be few in number, but they vow to continue to raise their voices, if not in the streets, then on all platforms of social media. Many women here say the one positive of 20 years of U.S.-led fighting was the improvement of women's rights and education for girls, and that, they say, is something worth fighting for. Sean Callebs, CGTN, Kabul, Afghanistan.